Day 2 of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament in PyeongChang, and this the matchup in Group A. Canada with a victory in their first matchup, and that was over Sweden, an impressive one. And Italy, a victory as well. They, in Day 1, able to get that over Norway in a game-winning shots shootout, as the Canadians in their white jerseys with the iconic red maple leaf on their chest make their way out of the dressing room area and out onto the ice here at the Gangneung Hockey Centre.
And now, fans, welcome to the ice, Team Italy.
The Italians, blue on blue, with the green, white, and red Italian colors of their flag. There in the crest on their chest is their Leopardi. Gregory Leopardi will come out and look to exchange pennants in a moment, as they will over there in front of the referees. But it's Canada who sits atop of this group at the moment by right of their goals for. Italy with the victory, and that took the additional time to do it, and then they did it in the shots, the game-winning shots. They have 2 points, and then Norway with 1. This is our refereeing trio.
Here's the starting lineup for the visiting team,
with the
Team
orange
Italy.
stripes on his sleeve, not the girl from Austria. And then on the line as well, as you just saw, it is Leon Wesley from the Czech Republic. This the Italians. The Canadians are ready. Their opening lineup standing strong. And they're on the blue line, awaiting for Italy to take their position. And Santino Stilitano will get the start in goal for the Italians, as Westlake is across there in front of the refereeing trio. And awaiting the captain, and it's going to be Cavalier, is the captain. And he will, first of all, shake hands with Westlake. And such is the nature of respect in Paralympic sport, as it is generally across sport. But in Paralympic sport, it's just a little bit better, if I'm being honest. The humanity and the humility in which these players regard one another and the respect they have is special to watch. Ken Babby in charge. He led this side a year ago to the World Championship gold medal in this exact same building. He does not have Bout in the lineup, and I am assured that it's just a tactical decision or just a use of personnel, just sharing out the load. Massimo Durin, this is his continued charge as the man behind this Italian team. Stilitano will get the start in goal. He has
the referees for tonight's game.
Defensive flanks. He's got experience of plenty there with Blanker and with Giuliano, or rather Gianluigi Rosa as well. Corbin Watson is going to get the start in goal. They split the duties, did the Canadian keepers in day number 1 against Sweden. Stilitano with the action here. It's his first, as Arado got the duties in the opening contest in day 1 against Norway. Lots of scoring from Canada. They set in their game 1 or day 1 competition against Sweden. It's a new Paralympic record. They scored 17 goals. Prior to that, it was a 12-goal output that was the Paralympic record. 7 tournaments for para ice hockey at the Paralympic Games since Lillehammer in 1994. And the Canadians put on quite a show at day 1 against Sweden. The Italians find a way to win one tight against Norway. They are right in a position jockeying around the idea of a medal at these Paralympic Games. The Canadians have their eyes set on gold. They'll need to just keep focused on the next 45 minutes or potentially more against the Italians en route, if that's where they're going to get to in PyeongChang. We're underway. It's Canada in white with the red trim, and blue on blue, it's the Italians. Canada will take it. Billy Bridges. He is a horse of a man. Look at them start. That's off the iron. Boom. Right off the left post, as quick as you can whistle Dixie. And right there, the Canadians show you exactly what they're all about. All business. They showed no mercy in that game in day 1 of competition against Sweden. Sweden really blown apart by Canada in the opening 5-6 minutes, they were down by 4 goals, and just really, oh, what a collision there as Bridges just totally demolishes the Italian player right there in the neutral zone. And this is car crash television we're watching right now here in the opening stages, as this coming forward is the Canadian outfit, and they've got speed to burn, as it'll be played back for Bridges. What a play! Stilitano makes a dynamic save in the opening minute, and I'm not sure how that didn't go in. The only way it did is the anticipation skills of Stilitano to have read that. It was obvious maybe where it was intended to go, but the execution good enough, in fairness, that they could have converted there, Canada. Laid off by Delaney, and then down low here now. It's Cozzolino. Cozzolino with a goal as well in the opening game. They had hat tricks, 4 goals to McGregor, and then 3 players sitting on 2 goals in that game. A pretty good spread in Canada. This is them just trying to control and contain the puck in the offensive zone here, as we are still inside the opening 2 minutes. We've already seen Canada go off the post. They had another glorious scoring opportunity and was saved by Stilitano. This is an offload, and you see all the bodies, 4, 5, down low, below the dot for Italy. That is the type of defensive formation they have to employ to maintain and manage this Canadian attack. Arsenault, it's for Hickey. Hickey had a couple in the opener at day 1 himself. And this for Arsenault. It gets a little bit tied up, kind of wrapped up in the puck and sticks in a sled there. Out to get it. And interestingly, and probably the right move, in fairness, for Coach Ken Babby to have shared the ice time. Canada had that game won. Look at this from Italy, though. They had that game pretty much in the bag by halfway through the first period. And then, of course, it's important to engage all of the personnel, particularly the keeper, because you might need both. You might need one to carry the load to get you to a big game. And there might be a change in form, and you need to have both as an option, a realistic option. As Canada right down this far side boards, they've got Westlake and Arsenault, 2 mainstays of this program. The penalty coming here, and it looks like it'll be coming to Italy, and it does there as they touch the puck. Just over 3 minutes gone, and Yamaguchi blows the whistle for the first time. Bridges, the offload here, and it's Armstrong who, look at there again. And the timing of Stilitano, patience, and he was poised about falling back to get ready to basically blank that backside of the net. Plunker is in, he gets 2 minutes for holding. What an international career he has had in multiple sports. It's up, and Stilitano is getting peppered early. Canada are awaiting the first goal. Bridges. Oh my, how does he not cross that bridge? You thought for certain he had Stilitano begging for mercy, and he wasn't able to deliver. Billy Bridges, an iconic member of the Canadian para ice hockey program. He can get it done in any game, any manner, any style. You want to shoot it out, play that game. You want to play physical, he's your Huckleberry. As now, it's just trying to recover this puck right now. Gianluigi Rosa, he gets stripped. And into the corner here. Are they going to come out? Out from Hickey, out to Westlake, and I think he's just shaved the right of the post again. Trying to just taking a little bit of paint off of the right post there. Right here, you're going to feed across to McGregor. He scores. Oh, it took a couple touches, but it's a power play goal for Canada. And their goal scoring is off and running. You can see the feed coming across the face of goal. Dixon to McGregor. And that was in. It was even better than we thought. With the naked eye, was wondering whether or not it had been saved, but it was so hard, slammed into the back of the goal. Dixon and Westlake to get assists on it. The way we saw it, just kind of bobbling around, it looked as though maybe Stilitano had got a piece of it and kept it in front of the line, and then it trickled across. But that thing was in and out quicker than you could blink your eye. As McGregor opens things inside of 4 minutes in this first period. Officially, it's 3:59. The first goal of the hockey game belonging to Canada on the power play. Back to 5-on-5 again as the long play comes in. And it's into the corner. Leperti, he's a big body. He likes the physical traffic as well. As he just created some confusion there. As he threw it out, not a bad idea. The situation you have sometimes with the Canadian keepers is because they don't get a lot of activity. They work hard to really impress when their chances come, and sometimes they can overwork. And that looked a little bit like a situation there for Watson, where he kind of overplayed that one, and I thought potentially maybe drag that into his own goal. So the drop of the puck there just wasn't fair to both sides, and they've just elected to change out the centers and move them in. A whole rotation of personnel here. The alignment of both of these teams. It's the linesman coming across looking for some clarity here. Not entirely sure just what is in question. Now they've gone over, and it looks like everybody's happy and fine. Play will continue. As this to the right of Corbin Watson in the Canadian goal. It'll be Armstrong who takes receipt of it and across here. We've got a play for Sholomicki, and they could have just bounced it off the boards. Bridges and Armstrong run into each other momentarily. But good control here and poise from Armstrong just to keep it and to advance it forward. They'll come through the neutral zone here now, Canada. And on for Bridges. Good little hooking move from the Italian defender, Rosa, as he feeds it up the left side here and down the wing. It's Corvino. An offload from the Canadian defense. And this is a little more measured, but they can't connect that one with Sholomicki. And again, the Italians just looking to play a little bit of a territory game, forcing the Canadians to just stay back. Bridges can't connect it a little bit disjointed here is Canada in this last minute. Can't quite put their passes together. And now Winkler just fires it in. Deep in the corner. And now Canada do come up with it as they'll advance forward and into the neutral zone. Across, it's again a penalty now coming. It'll be the Canadians who will take their first penalty of the hockey game. Just the 2 shots so far. The 1 goal converted by McGregor, and the Italian power play is now in employment. It's Dixon who comes in. It looks like he's going to grab an elbowing call on the play as he just gets a piece of the Italian. It's roughing officially. He's a little high with the elbow, comes up around the head area. And now the Italians with the player advantage, 5 against 4. Do they have a chance in which to level up here at 1? Down it'll go. Rosa will be the first one back for Italy. He'll set the table for them as they got a high man here. Leperti has stayed up by the blue line, but he comes right back down through the middle. And here's Florian Plonker. He gets disheveled there by Armstrong. Does a good job to front up against the Italian. Canada aggressive. They'll push right up against the boards. And that's going to be a problem for Watson. I think he's got it tight to the post. They've done that a couple times already, Italy. And that's the second time of asking, and it looked even more possible again. And it seems that there's a little bit of a vulnerability there that the Italians are looking to exploit. And that's a tough save to make, because as soon as Watson leaves his post just for an inch, he allows a little bit of daylight in there, and it could have easily gone off of him and across the Canadian goal line. Canada again wins the face-off. Need to be tight here. It's a little bit loose as the Italians smother them. And Canada so far with over 80% of the face-off control. But it's Italy still over halfway. And that one rifled off the back of Arsenault. Leperti, a big body, he's strong. Needs to be careful not to take a penalty there. Arsenault grabs it, and he'll find the right angle just to clear the lines. And out through to the neutral zone. The Italians regroup, reload, and they get bumped for their troubles, but they picked up this puck. They hold it. Plunker feeds it in central, and they can't connect the 1-2 give and go. That's better from Armstrong. And they will get it, Canada, but they haven't been able to clear it. This for Watson, another big save. He's had to make 3 or 4, and that one cuts right through him and through the crease. And he could easily have had these pucks go off him incidentally. It's a tough one there too. What a save from Watson as Leperti goes for the up and over. And right now, Canada are being tested as much as they have at any point in this tournament so far. And I'm sure in as much that they were going to expect against the Italians. Watson cooks that one and then has it come right back through. Westlake will just send this one down the near boards, and it makes its way in behind for Stilitano to have a look at just how he wants to play it on. And it's back to 5-on-5 here as Westlake just awaits, and he services that far left corner. Delaney is the intended first man on the puck for Canada, and there's a heavy collision as you see McGregor look to drop the hammer on the Italians, but well done, Italy. It looked for a moment there to maintain control. Westlake's come up with it. Westlake's got room. He's got time. He's got a lane to shoot here. Westlake goes off the right side. And now the other corner will be Dixon, who picks up the loose change. Dixon with all sorts of trickery. Oh, that's trickery with the stick. And as quick as it can be spoken, the puck will leave the zone, and they're going to have to reload again, Canada. Adam Dixon, he wasn't moving particularly fast, but his brain was, as he had the Italians guessing as to where he was going to go next. In behind this Italian goal, it's in a position here. Can they get to it? Corvino is in a race up against Arsenault. Arsenault holds tight and prevents from crashing into the end boards, maintains control of the puck. And now this up through the middle. Cozzolino's going to get a couple Italians. And that's just maintained so that it's not offside. That was just a little bit of a... Oh, this is for Dixon. He's all alone. Dixon, 1-2, and it's in the back of the rack as Dixon dazzles Stilitano, and Canada has their second goal. It's a broken play, and Italy overcommit on the one Canadian, and this is not a man you want to leave alone, because he will turn you inside out and wrap it around the goal and back out the other side as quick as you just saw it. Sholomiki gets the assist on the play. It's an even strength goal at 9:21 of this first period. Italians have been doing well, crunching up against the Canadians, making life difficult. What ends up happening, they were enjoying that success and overcommit, really, and leave Adam Dixon, who is very aggressive offensively as a defender. He's a world-class offensive defender. But he's not necessarily the fastest skater, but what he is incredibly measured. He sees the ice as well as anybody in the world. And he's got the stick handling ability, the shooting, and just the game timing in para ice hockey, second to none. And you put him in a situation like that, and it's too easy for him. As Canada will take this face-off here, closing in on 5 minutes remaining in this first period. And it's been a power play goal and even strength goal, as Sholomicki will just shunt this one forward, and you guessed it, it's Dixon again. Dixon just decoys like he was going to slip through. What he does is he holds, and he's been able just to pass it back to one of his Canadian teammates, and they provide some more puck pressure. The Italians have just put it into the neutral zone, and Armstrong gets there first and forces the Italians just have to pull up. They saw what happened when they overcommit a moment ago. This is looking promising for Italy. A shot there. It'll go wide of goal. And Watson has been as busy as anybody might have expected in this opening period. The shots are only 3 for Canada and 2 for Italy. So there hasn't been a whole flurry of shot taking, but there has been action. There certainly has been pressure and a flurry of busyness around both goals for sure in the opening 11 minutes of this game. Henry comes back now. Henry's turned it over. It's a little bit of a gift, but it's a momentary one. An Indian giver gives it and takes it back again. As this, the other way, is the Canadians on the charge. Delaney will take it and in below the goal line. The reverse, nice little cycle for the Canadians here, but can they pull it off the boards with a little bit of promise and possibility? Cozzolino out to Delaney, and that is a third goal for Canada. So precise, so fine, and there is Delaney to cash in the goods. The youngster, and he's maturing now into quite a hockey player, now at 21 years of age. First saw him come on the scene at 18, as there you see Delaney move from right to left and slot it in the far side of the goal. Armstrong and Cozzolino with the assists on the play. 11:36 is the time for Canada's third goal. And they found their form here. You wouldn't bet against them finding another one before this period is out. They're starting to break down this Italian defense now. And just find the opportunity presenting itself, and they're certainly making the most of it. Coming here through the neutral zone, Liam Hickey contacts Westlake, physically involved there. And Armstrong just tries to keep that in at the line. Canadians just run the 4D, which is generally the case if you're not quality enough to play before. Basically just exchanging pairs of defense for each other throughout the course of the game. Obviously there'll be a power play structure as well, generally belonging to Dixon. Bowden not in the lineup, and I still find that a curious decision. They asked the question about it. Say there's no injury, no issues, just game selection. That's maybe management of energy, potentially throughout the course of a short tournament at a high intensity level. I want to speculate, but equally very surprised to not see him playing if he's fully healthy. Dixon, as it comes out to McGregor, it's a hand pass with 2:04 remaining in his first period. Canada are starting to find their level, as you might expect. Heavily favored in this game, and maybe slightly favored in this tournament. to go all the way, potentially to the top of the podium. They're the world #1 at the moment, and their performance in day #1 and here in day 2 are suggesting that that particular ranking is appropriate. Causalino, with this insert play, wraps it around the Italian defense, gets it to Delaney, who receives it in the right to the left, and slots it home with relative ease. Massimo Durin chatting amongst his Italian team as well. They know that they were going to be in tough here, but they probably weren't expecting to be down 3-0. The Italians 5th in the world in the World Championships a year ago here in Gangneung. And then in 2015 at the World Championships, they were 5th. And they finished 6th in Sochi 4 years ago in the last Paralympic Games. So they're in and around the idea of a medal, but between Norway and now the surgence of Korea into the top flight of para ice hockey, that's quite a bone-crushing hit there. It's maybe just put further pressure on Norway and Italy to really be competing to get themselves on the medal podium. Dixon will take this one inside of a minute and a half. That'll just squeeze its way down. Body contact there is Bridges, who had control of it for a second. It does just slide away. As Canada is Liberty in behind the Italian goal. He gets shoved off the play by Causalino. And it'll just spray out into the neutral zone. We're in the last minute of the first period, and Canada looking to see if they can't put a punctuation point on this opening 15 minutes of work. Italy, a long, speculative, and rather ambitious effort. Has it brought about a penalty? It has. As the contact there, it's going to be a team call against the Italians. And 37.9 seconds on the official game clock. Is that enough time here with the player advantage? And for Canada to do something here. Just getting a touch of McGregor and just a side-on collision that leaves him prone. And the Italians visit the penalty box again. Hickey out there, Westlake. It's Bridges with this draw to Hickey. A set play for him to step into a pocket there. Dixon will be the quarterback right here as he receives it. He can shoot and score from there. Westlake, and that's a play a little bit miscued. As expected, that passing channel was going to open up, and it was anticipated well by the Italians. Coming across the line here, here's Dixon. He'll shoot it, and Lowe was the better shot there. He just couldn't be accurate enough as it goes wide by about a couple of feet. And Canada just picking up the remaining possession in this opening 15 minutes, but the horn will sound. And a minute and 23 will remain on the power play when the second period begins. But Italy hanging in tough. It was a power play goal and two even strength goals from Canada in the opening 15 minutes. It has them heading off to their dressing room, feeling pretty good about things. They got that power play awaiting them to return to in the second period. And the Canucks in support of this Canadian para ice hockey team certainly enjoying it as well. Getting to their phones to pass the word across the world, wherever it is that people communicate with, as the Italians in good spirits as well. A strong opening 15 for Canada. They're in good position, 3-0 up.
Confiscated by police. Please keep your belongings with you at all times.
안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 방치된 물건은 보안상 위험 요소로 간주되어 수거될 수 있으니 개인 소지품 관리에 주의해 주시길 바랍니다.
Only 5 on goal shots for Canada. They get 3 of them converted and 2 from Italy. In fairness, they responded well. What looked to be a pretty commanding start from Canada, but they've not been able to convert as yet. They've got a penalty kill to start this third period as well for 1 minute and 23 seconds. Canada converted on the 1 power play opportunity they had. Look how dominating they've been on the face-off control and the 4 minutes of penalties taken. The remainder of that, the 123 that they'll have to kill to start this third period. Everybody enjoying and having fun inside the Gangneung Hockey Centre as the in-house entertainment, providing all the thrills and spills and everybody. It's good family fun. That's the first shot of the opening period here as Armstrong goes off the iron. And then Bridges, you thought he was going to score for sure from there, as he had done all the work to get around. Not sure if he just got a stick or whether he just got wrapped up, I think, before he was able to take that shot. And this is what got things going. It was Dixon across to McGregor. McGregor scored so quick that I knew he had scored. Just wasn't sure if it happened on the first effort or coming back off the goalkeeper there and just bouncing off the back of him. But it was going to have to be some incredible save, and the Italians tried that a couple times. Tried to go off the short side, and Watson tried to catch him, leaving that post in hopes to just get a little bit of a gap there. Dixon scores a second one as he just rings it around the net and in and out. And then Dixon was all alone here. That's the reverse angle of it. He had just too much time and space and opportunity afforded to him. Really, it was going to be hard-pressed to miss. He's from that type of position there, he's going to score it. And Delaney equally was in a good position. He had to go to his left hand, but he made a dynamic move on what was tremendous passing from Cozzolino to get it to him. And he finishes off for the third goal of the opening 15 minutes of play. The Italians will return to the ice. The first of the two sides.
Welcome back to the ice.
We're inside of 2 minutes now before the drop of the puck for the second period. There you see Canada in the background now making their way on. Likewise, they've got a 5-on-4 advantage, so they'll just have their set 5 who will take position on the ice, and the remaining personnel assuming an observation position in behind that glass there that is obviously custom designed for para ice hockey, so the players can still be engaged in what's going on. Naturally is what you'd want to see when even you're on the bench. Stilitano in a pretty good period. I think the goals that Canada scored are pretty well earned and pretty well taken, so I don't think he's going to take a whole lot of heat or self-criticism, I wouldn't have thought, about how things went down in the first period. Canada looked stronger than maybe they have done. They seem to have found a little bit of a magic ingredient in just utilizing their lineup, utilizing all the players in it, and then equally the acceptance of maybe some new roles for the personnel within this team. New players becoming primary scorers, maybe old primary scorers becoming secondary scorers, but finding a place still to be effective and contributing towards what they hope is a very winning side at the Paralympic tournament in ice hockey and PyeongChang. Yamaguchi drops the puck, and it is Canada to take the opening control. They have this power play that they're working with. Now they're going to have to go and recoil here a little bit to get themselves ready to attack, to come forward with some speed. This is strong from Liam Hickey. He's just moved down his left-hand side. He's going to try and draw a little bit of the Italian defense with him, but a little bit mistimed. That puck sticks there on the ice, and they do well just to get control of it. It just a little bit of a wet patch there. And they do keep it in again. He's going back to get his stick with Dixon. Now he's making the moves. He is tricky indeed, is Adam Dixon. Tricky Dixon. As this will be a shot coming in there, gets thwarted though. And McGregor is a little too hustled, trying to get to a position to get the shot off. This is a better feed. Dixon, this time, not as tricky. But he gets it back again. The 1-2, oh, a shot. It's not accurate. And that would have been really the best chance that Canada would have had on the power play. And it went wide of goal. There's a save from Silitano. Canada are again forcing the issue. The Italians are going to take it though. It's just found its way. And this is some great skating here. But quickly, as Valerio Corvino thought he had some daylight there. And this is Dixon looking to be an option for McGregor right in front of goal. Oh, it went off of Dixon, and Silitano makes the save. The ricochet hits him bullseye right in the Italian badge. The offload for Bridges down low. Rotating upward, Liam Hickey. Hickey will score. And that passing sequence from below the goal line for Canada in this game is proving deadly. Silitano gets himself back upright. The Canadian fans, they are standing at attention as that the right-left movement and the handle of the puck. I think Silitano for a second freezes, maybe anticipating that going across the long side. It goes the short side, and Hickey delivers. Officially, it's an even strength goal. Hickey at 17:03. Delaney and Billy Bridges. Bridges puts a nice tape-to-tape pass on there. And Hickey just takes care of that with pretty professional work, wasn't it? There's no real issue in how he was able to manage that puck and find a way to channel it inside that left post. Watson for his first touch, so 7-2 are the shots now officially in favor of Canada. Pretty good conversion rate. They're shooting a scoring percentage of over 50%. That's pretty good. In fact, those are lofty numbers. It's rare air to be scoring at that sort of clip. As this will be Canada in behind, now coming out. Mickey just receives that a little bit awkwardly, and they just support in layers right now. They're a defensive onion. Are the Canadians? Can you get past one? Well, there's another. If you get past him, it's unlikely, because there's another. As this is the Italians taking an offensive zone penalty, and those will kill you quicker than a bullet. As off to the box, and the power play 5 will come out for Canada, awaiting the drop of the puck in the offensive zone. Looks like it's going to be Corvino coming across. He picks it up. And there is the 68. Big body Corvino. I think he's going to get a holding call. It's holding an opponent is officially the penalty against Bridges. They're not happy with his alignment. He gets the boot. As now they'll rotate in. It's going to be Westlake taking this draw for Canada. And it's Winkler, Werner Winkler, straight up. who's going to be competing for this one. But again, it's Canada to take control. However, it's a little bit loose, and they'll just get away into the neutral zone. McGregor trying to move it with some speed and some quickness, really, but Canada not really attacking the line, been as effective as they want to be. It's below the goal line, making those passes out to the slot area. That's where they've really come into their own here, but they've taken a penalty here, and it's going to be Bridges, I believe, going off to the penalty box. So 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 36 is what's scheduled, and a little bit more room up there for some of the more offensively talented players. Larch and McGregor contest that draw. And it's charging that's going to come to Bridges. He can play a little bit like a bull in a china shop. And in that instance there, it looks as though he broke a little bit too much china. As that'll be sent down length of the ice, and it's going to be icing against. They're forgetting that now that the Canadians have a penalty as well, that they're 4-on-4. They still thought they were disadvantaged 5 against 4. It's what a scoreline of 4 goals will do to you as well. It's a little bit disorienting. You lose a little bit of your shape as to how you want to approach the game. You know you're going to be tough against a top-flight team like Canada, but when the goals start coming in and the pressure starts mounting, a little bit of confusion normally arrives at the mental party too. Here is Canada though. Across this line, look at Hickey. Oh, wow. That is a cross-body dart that makes Stilitano look as though he's just a shooter-tooter in there. And that was dynamic from Hickey as he held here long enough to get Stilitano to commit. And then he comes across with all manner of fury there. And he's a left-handed howitzer to the top right of goal. Unassisted, officially. Hickey at 19-11, even strength, has put a 5 spot on the board for Canada. So that was 4-on-4. So we continue to be at 4-on-4. Those minor penalties will carry the same length of time that they had initially. And on we go with more space and time. As Leperti will play it around. He'll just carve this one out of the Canadian defensive line. Or Dixon. The feed up to Causalino is broken up. Armstrong. Good defensive quartet for the Canadians. Armstrong, Henry, Dixon, and Arsenault have been solid, taking care of the work. It was the move of Brad Bowden from being a forward back to defense that was a real inspired move, I felt, from Ken Babby. That happened ahead of the World Championships a year ago. That's why it's a little puzzling to see. He has not gotten the lineup yet in this tournament. Sholomicki, there's the play, they score! Sholomicki to 10, and 20-10 is just as good again. "16 seconds remain, and that's a short-handed goal this time, as Canada are finding ways to score in every sequence of the game. They still have Bridges in the box as this goes right into the back of the hammock here. Boom! Delaney leaves Stilitano flopping like a fish. Sholomicki gets the assist on the play. And Canada are up to a half dozen, and they don't look like slowing down. Winkler lays it on there, trying to get to it. Wesley Purdy. Westlake will just shape that one into the zone, but Italy have done well. Their first one's back to get it. Westlake provides the forecheck. Bridges and Westlake in a 1-2. Here's Westlake. He should be able to find a shot off here, but he's going to wait, and it's going to be a second layer to this Canadian attack. The support, the shot. Silitano takes that one right off the chest. He'll cover it up for a face-off. Canada right now are finding ways to score, and you almost fancy the idea of them scoring from long range there. 9 shots to 2 in favor of Canada. The Canadians have a 66% scoring percentage in their output already today. This the play across. Sholomiki to Delaney. And as much as anything, the reason why Silitano looks so awkward in the way he tried to play that as the goalkeeper for Italy. Delaney just held that puck on. He held, and it's a game of bluff. He basically outweighted Silitano, as once Silitano made the move, he knew that he had space inside that right post. Massimo Durant keeping positive, but a little more vehement there on the Italian bench. He needs his team to perform. He may understand that the result is less of a realistic ambition anymore in this game against Canada, but the performance has got to be there. They cannot fall apart because the Canadians have just been too powerful. They've got to keep their game plan. They've got to stick to their strengths. Arsenault will drive back to get this puck. The Italians, part of their game is playing physical. And I wonder if that isn't a penalty there as well. It was on their own defensive half of the red line. And I think they're going to have a little convergence here, the referees, as there's full wholesale line changes. And they're just getting another puck. It doesn't look as though, so it must have just touched on the glass and then has gone out. So maybe a little bit of a let-off there for Italy. Parity in on this draw. And now we see Dunn. Dunn's the youngster, 17 years young. In his first Paralympic Games for Canada. And this coming through the neutral zone. The idea was good, the execution not quite as tight. As now they have a second crack at it. Dunn has held this well. He spins around, is trying to open up a passing option. And just worked right over there. It is Armstrong. He's had a very solid tournament so far. We're only in day 2. Canada's played on day 1 and 2. Trying to feed it out. You listen to this crowd. They are willing on the Italians to try and get a shot on goal, and then from there, hopefully a shot that's good enough for which to score. This one's just feathered in towards Watson. Arsenault. Oh, rather, that is James Dunn. 4 rather than 14. He's the center iceman. He's come back low and is the first man to retrieve that puck. So some great discipline and maturity there. Generally, you find with younger players, they love the flair of the offense, the upside. Not necessarily always the basis, the meat and potatoes, which is taking care of your own end first. This now is Canada coming forward. Oh my goodness. Billy Bridges right now has got more tricks up his sleeve than maybe there are cards in a deck. As it is Armstrong to try and get collection of this puck. It's the Italians though that are taking their turn and having a little play with it, trying to formulate some possibility. And this goes in, and it goes strong. The Italians going to go wholesale line change here. And it's always more difficult in the second period because you're further away from your own goals. Bench, of course, in the same position, but as a defender, you are that much further away than you are in the first and third periods from getting to your position. Maybe it'd be easier to explain that, but I'm sure you probably understand. Forwards are at one end of the bench, the defense are at the other. And in the first period, the defense are closer to their own goal. In the second, well, they're further away, so those line changes become more difficult, and that was why it was well executed there by the Italians to get 5 players off all at once as we look at the last shot and score. As this from Delaney was the 5th one. The one prior was from Hickey. That was an explosion to the top right-hand corner. Italy doing their best just to try and hold together, keep their structure and formation. That's a pretty smart pass. That's an even better toe drag. In and around is Hickey. You've seen how nifty he is in controlling and shooting the puck there. And this Dixon, just great distribution of the puck, but the reception of McGregor quite as clean. And here comes Hickey. Good first stride to get himself going. And there, a case of bow dangles as here comes McGregor. And he was showing us there just how to maneuver that puck in and around your sled with speed, deception, and guile. As now running into the Italians in front of the bench there. Creates a little bit of a congested moment for Canada. Just kind of working to just try and get their shape. A little bit of searching there from both sides. There's a penalty coming up here, it appears. And it's interference. And it's Canada who touched the puck, and therefore they're going to be penalized. And off to the box. This is Westlake en route. So a power play for the Italians, and a chance to get maybe a shot and hopefully a goal scoring opportunity that possibly they can convert. But the Canadians will have other ideas. They have been flawless in their penalty killing so far in the tournament, and they do not want to see that change now. You're seeing the vehemence there from Coach Ken Babby, just talking about being more assertive and keeping the game simple. The Canadians were a little busy doing nothing in the neutral zone in the last minute or so. And sometimes you can do that, just get a little too busy, but not producing and being effective with your puck movement. And that's what he's asking from his personnel now. Now they have to kill a penalty. He's saying, I want you to play with purpose and to be definite, as that is a definite clearance of the puck from Dixon, as he's got as powerful a wrist shot as anybody in the game. As he sends that one long and strong. Here comes Canada, shorthanded, and that's going to go into the back again as Delaney does the up and under. And Stilitano tries to stay with him, but Delaney is just too good and too controlled, and he's having himself quite a day. It's this first pass, though. That's what it's all about. And then he just takes Stilitano's stick with him just for good measure and takes it for a ride. The poke check. And then the drag of the stick while he keeps and maintains perfect control and focus. Sholomiki makes that play from high to low down and sets it up. That really is what orchestrates and opens up the play. It was the timing of the pass as much as anything that was the most important part of the play from Sholomiki to Delaney. Off the boards and down the length of the ice. Remember, Canada are still killing a penalty here. And a minute and 20 seconds remaining officially on it there. And 11-2 the shots. And 7-11. Not only is it a store that you most likely will find for variety goods in Korea, but it is the dynamic of goals converted from shots in this game from Canada. They like 7-11s in Korea, I'll tell you that, as that will go off the glass and down the ice. Again, Italy working 200 feet from where they want to be. A long ways to the Canadian goal inside their own defensive third, but this is better. And it's only momentary as Plucker gets plunked there in the neutral zone. And this is Canada just working again, trying to get control of the puck. Can they? To ask for a second shorthanded goal would be just a little bit greedy. As we're inside of 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Canada look to have been able to manage this penalty kill. A few precious seconds remaining, but it's one forechecker. There's 3 Canadians around the idea of puck control, and now they've got it. Here they come. They elect to be patient. They're sending the Italians in all different directions, and there's a little offload there. They've read that one well, though, have Italy. And that's just played into an area. They're looking to make a line change, at least one, but they stay with it. This is more aggressive. They have to push here now, do the Italians. Play physical, be disruptive of the Canadian skill, the speed. That's where they're going to be at their best. But look at Dixon right now. Dixon is just taking his own trolley car right through this Italian defense. And this from Canada, they build. You get a sense that something's coming here, that they'd love to put an 8-ball on the board. And there's another movement here. Feed is met by Rosa, though. He picks that one off, says, if you're thinking about that one next time, just send a text, because I read that one at least a few seconds previous. As it is Canada just working to try and get this puck out. That's a slotting effort from a distance there. And it's now a moment of some offensive momentum for the Italians. As we close down on the second period, here comes Westlake. This is a real leading pass for McGregor. Rosa, long and strong, a very sensible and patient pair of hands as well. Will send it all the way down, and they wave it off. It just suggested that back in time, this new hybrid rule of icing, which has proven effective in the sport of ice hockey. Look at Dixon. Oh, he's got a wiggle and a waggle, and he yinked when he should have yanked, as he'll put himself offside with 51.8 seconds remaining in the second period. Laperti in to take this draw. A big body, he fronts up against Bridges. They will know each other well. They have been competing against each other for well into this 21st century. A shot for Stilitalo. He takes that one off the blocker. You heard that. He pizza boxes it down. And what will happen here with Cozzolino? Another one. Delaney, as he, in fact, wished to score. And with Delaney scoring, he already has his hat trick. And just admiring each one of them as we review here now. Hickey has 2 again. McGregor has the 1, Dixon with 1. But it is Delaney with 3 already with the hat trick. And there was the shot coming in from Cozzolino. You heard just the sound. It's plastic inside the leather protected blocker. And he needed to use it there just to shield himself from the force of that shot. Santino Stilatano, the last couple seconds. And the horn will sound on the counting of the 15 minutes by the Omega Watch in this second period. They have been played 30 minutes officially now in the bank. Only 11 shots Canada has had in this hockey game, and they have converted 7 times. They did it 3 times in the first period. They followed up with a further 4 in the second. Ben Delaney already with a hat trick in this game. Liam Hickey is knocking on the door as well. Canada all business, putting on a professional performance in the Gangneung Hockey Centre. It's day 2, match number 2 for both of these nations. Canada currently with a 7-goal margin advantage over Italy, who are yet to score.
rinks are similar to ice hockey rinks, but are converted to be accessible for para-ice hockey players. They are 60 meters long and 30 meters wide, surrounded by a wall called boards that keep the puck in play at all times. A red center line divides the field in half, while two blue lines separate the ice into 3 zones: a neutral zone and 2 end zones. There are 9 face-off spots, including one in the center of the rink. Goals stand at opposite ends of the ice.
All right, guys, we're having a little difficulties with the video. However, we can still try to play the game right now. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of Scrabble. Fill in 빈칸을 채워주시는 걸로 하겠습니다. Basically, here's your hint. Okay, it is a wall that goes around the rink. Okay, 벽을 링크를 둘러싸는 벽이라고 합니다. All right, guys. So this is a B, a link, A, R, and so what do you guys think it is? All right, you guys think about it together. It's pretty easy, right? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, congratulations, 축하합니다. The answer was 4. Yay! I'm going to give you guys a 반다비 듀스의 반다비 선물 세트를 드리겠습니다. Thank you guys for joining me today. 네, 지금까지 김한나였고요.
Extremely efficient Canada has been. They got 4 goals in that second period on the, well, 7 shots as you see taken, 12 overall, and they've converted 7 times. They are killing a penalty though to start this third period. They have scored 1-3 in a power play. They've been very successful with the faceoffs, as you can see. 2 shorthanded goals are certainly an indication of the ability of the Canadians in all situations on the ice to be able to find offense and to find a return, as they have been the forefront of the intermission entertainment here inside the Gangneung Hockey Centre. They do a great job putting on a fantastic show on and off the ice. Here, of course, in the PyeongChang2018 Paralympic Winter Games, as we look at some of the action in that second period. That was well taken there by Delaney. He went about his business, and this is Hickey rather on this one. Hickey and Delaney both getting in that second period a couple of goals each, as he takes that on the backhand of the right hand, the forehand of the left hand, and Stilitano isn't able to get to that one and shield that from the Italian goal. There's a lot going on there for anybody who's just watching this. These guys make it look so easy, and then that play from Hickey, I mean, that's extraordinary. Not only is he being pushed off his line that he initially wanted to have in order to get a shot off, but he gets his timing changed, he gets his angle changed, and he's just got to hold strong. Delaney and Hickey are the 2 deposit masters for Canada in this game, as Stilitano is hopping and leaping in anticipation as to where this puck is going to go. And Delaney, just with perfect goal scorer's patience, just outweights him and lets him do the hip and the hop, as he will just send it right on through him. As this is another fantastic feed, and there's just a little bit of the in and out, like a fiddler's elbow, as Stilitano is just searching for answers in there. And Delaney certainly has an answer as how to unlock the Italian goal. He has scored 3, and this is the 3rd one. Just see the blade as it just peeked up there, enough height to it, and then Stilitano gets his stick blade under it, and he's able just to squeeze it and not lose his own balance there. A shot from Cozzolino. Cozzolino has been fantastic at providing service in this hockey game too to his teammates. He got the assist
Team Italy.
on the Dixon goal, also on the Delaney goal.
And welcome
He's
back
been
to the ice.
noticeable
Team
for his
Canada.
ability to find
이어서 캐나다
the
팀
Canadian
선수들이
sticks in the
들어오고
offensive zone in this game. Dixon, as he is always, Tricky Dixon. he can beat you twice standing still. A little bit like a Datsukian stick handler. Pavel Datsuk, who's the kind of player, played in the National Hockey League, one of the best players of all time, both ways, up and down the rink, and he can beat you twice standing still. It was all about his guile and dexterity with handling the puck. He can do it on both sides of the blade, and he can do it equally on both sides of his body, a real maestro. And Dixon's very similar to that in what he's able to do with that puck. He maneuvers it around more naturally than any other player. Arguably, well, in that discussion is Declan Farmer. Brodie Roybal is equally one of those players that at speed and in tight spaces can really find it, but you're seeing it from Hickey and Delaney too. Their ability to maneuver right to left, back to front, front to back, and around, and then changing their angle decision making as to what they want to do on the fly. Those are extraordinary high quality skills. Ken Babby stands on. There isn't a whole lot to really deliver. The message will be delivered, and it's one of those things, you don't want to overcook your message. It's a little bit of a case for a Canadian side. You don't want to cry wolf. Eventually, there'll come a time when the players don't respond, and what I mean by that is you have to let your players play. Yes, you have to keep within a structure and keep them disciplined, but Canadians, in talent and work rate alone, are superior to most of the nations still in the sport of para-ice hockey. So you gotta let your horses run and let them and trust them to do the right things out there. Just give them the game plan and allow them to go out and execute it. And they're doing that very well right now. And it's going to be the Italians just to break things up and try to bring it forward. Dixon holds, measures, and just ushers it back underneath him. He's got that ability to elevate the puck there. He's got that off his hip, and they're on the penalty kill, remember. He's got two Italians closing him down. He elevates it over the other Italian, trying to hold the puck in the offensive blue line. And I'm sure you can tell by the way I articulate that. That is not easy. We're inside of a minute now. This one goes up high. It's taken down. This could be a high sticking once they touch it. No, they get away with one there to Canada. And that'll work fine. Look at that. Again, that's the high hoister. The full length of the ice as they are breaking this power play down for the Italians second by second. It'll go back and around. Get all of it there, but it's even more important it's in behind the goal, and they're having to work to just get collection of it here, the Italian side. Armstrong comes in. He has a crack at it, but doesn't quite come up with it as he had hoped. Henry is getting squeezed a little bit from behind. Winkler is in on the play. The Canadians, even from a year ago, are showing greater fortification throughout their entire lineup. Armstrong, Henry, Hickey, Delaney, McGregor, all moving forward as the leading lights. Cozzolino as well for this Canadian side. So does Sholomicki, outstanding hockey player. And then you've got the players you expect it from. Westlakes, Bridges, Dixon. They just got depth and quality. As they'll just maneuver this puck around. They're not going to throw it away. They're going to keep retention of it. It's a hit. As Billy Bridges comes up with it. Here is Canada's 18. Look at him do his dancing. What a goal there. As, my goodness, it's the second mouse that gets the cheese. And Cozzolino, who had made some great plays today, gets his first goal of the game. But did Bridges do everything on the lead up to it? He most certainly did. as he has got a few different looks about how he plays the game. That toe drag that was also just a disappearing act as much as anything from Bridges. He gave the Italian defender the ole like a matador and threw it out there and said, not so fast. I'll just tuck this into my pocket here and leave this in a position totally advantage for one of my teammates to just slot it home. Cozzolino with his first goal. It's Billy Bridges with the assist. And they've got themselves an 8-ball on the board, have Canada. Cozzolino, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points in the tournament so far. Impressive indeed for the Canadians as they are really starting to climb up the tally. They'll be leading it, many of the Canadian players, after that 17-goal performance in their opening day, setting a new record in the Paralympic Games. It feels like the Canadian team has reloaded ahead of PyeongChang. We often talk about sports teams when they go through periods of relying upon certain personnel and how they replenish that personnel as rebuilding. It's not at all what the Canadian situation is. It's just a retooling. It's a reloading. And they've just come here in these opening 2 games and put 25 goals up already. And there's still lots to play in this 3rd period of their 2nd game. Things just slow up a tad as the Italians have got to be getting a little bit tired as they've been doing most of the chasing. They haven't had a whole lot of time, and those are more difficult minutes to play when you haven't got the puck, as opposed to when you do. As Leperti does the drive-by, and Cozzolino on the Bridges move. Look at that move, though, from Bridges. Just catching the heel of the blade under his sled, and he just rides it like a surfboard and stays away from Leperti, who went in hard and came out breathing heavy. Italy around. Play it, but they cannot clear it. Armstrong with the offload. James Dunn back to Armstrong, who's going to get a shot here. Armstrong can. He's outweighted it, but it's going to be an interference call. And is it for just being in the blue paint? Yamaguchi is going to inform us of the call. So power play coming up for the Italians. They're still waiting just to see what has been determined here. The cross is Jebel into the box. James Jebel. So he'll get a penalty. He hasn't had a whole lot of playing time in this game. Haven't called his name much. But he gets the call, and it's interference. I didn't see it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the referee obviously did. Canada with 2 shorthanded goals already in this hockey game. Is there a chance for a 3rd here? they will just take the first attempt to clear it. Delaney sends it out, and it's just broken up for a moment. And kept in their control. They're not going to force the issue. They'll find this a little bit of a unique challenge. Just to keep the puck on their stick, even though they're short-handed. Dixon has been able to draw it around the first player, and then he's been able to send it down the length of the ice. And that's a little bit of what we've seen from Bridges there. You can see the way they communicate with each other, even as Dixon came on the ice for the third period. There's all-world confidence in their movement. They know that it's unique, and they've used it to their advantage. And Italy send that one down the length of the ice, and it goes for icing. They're still with the power play. They've only had 2 shots here, Italy, and this is again a very impressive performance and a very comprehensive performance coming in from the Canadians in this game. It's not as though the Italians are just making up the numbers in this tournament. They are a legitimate contender and a medal hopeful as well. And they're getting smoked out here by the Canadians in the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Down it will be sent. It's first-class delivery by the Canadians, sending the Italians back. Here comes James Dunn. Oh, he's racked it. Rack him up, Charlie. James Dunn has scored his first Paralympic goal. And there's a moment to remember as he's grabbed himself a chance to shine. As he comes right in here, and he finds it real easy as he outweights Dilatano. He goes right to left, and he hits that right back in the middle post area. And James Dunn, he had 4 assists in that opening game in day 1, and he finds his first goal. And he does it like he's been doing it all his life. Remember, that's short-handed. Canada have done it 3 times now to the Italians. It's very simple the way Dunn came in. He just took the cue ball and just smashed it right into the Italian goal. Going back to collect this here. And a hit. It's going to be Canada picking up a penalty. I think coming across too aggressively, whether it's a charge or a roughing, we're going to see. When you heard the thump and the bump in the night going on off the play, off the camera's view. And we'll just see who it is that comes across here to deliver the hit. Armstrong has been solid for Canada. 21 years young, Armstrong. They've got youth on this side. They've really turned it over. As this is a 5 against 3. Have they got a 4th goal, shorthanded, Canada? That's the question. Oh, Corbin Watson gets tested right off. As the first penalty will now expire, so it's back to 5-on-4 as Gemo comes out. Gemo's one of the older statesmen on the side, 37 years age. And that, along with Sholomiki, they are the 2 eldest players for Canada. Whereas if you were to look comparatively at the Italian roster, well, the oldest is at 49, former Winkler. And then there's quite a few through the 40s. 46 for Cavalier, 44 for Leperdi. So there is a difference, without doubt, between these 2 sides. Speed is always a natural asset. So is energy. And let's be honest about it, so is youth. Down it will go. In inside of a minute now of this kill. Experience is obviously always a fantastic attribute. But if what you're playing against is just moving a lot quicker than you can try to countermeasure, well, experience might in fact just be a word. As here is Westlake coming across the line. And off the boards, it doesn't actually. It does makes its way down into a better position there. Kind of kicked up off the board and maybe left the surface of play. That's knocked down a little bit badminton style there, as it'll be Westlake. Westlake just, again, carving his way through. He's doing the S-bend. Get this pass across the intention, and McGregor gets wrapped up and holding his opponent. He'll get the first penalty. Is there a secondary one? But I think there's going to be an Italian power play coming, as McGregor just is a little too assertive there. He ends up costing his side another 2 minutes disadvantage here. This is the play. Oh, and he just extends right through the head, and then the parity almost catches his man. And I wonder if he isn't just a little bit woozy after that. Didn't catch the number of the Italian player, but basically McGregor was coming across the Trans-Canada, and I don't know whether or not he's been removed from this game for contact to the head. This will be interesting. We shall see, as McGregor looks to be going towards the exit. Checking to the head, neck area, 2+10. That's what he gets. So he's out of here. And there'll be a Canadian that has to go and serve that penalty. So a little bit of a curious decision there, in fairness, by Tyler McGregor, because Canada are totally in command. And you wonder sometimes if it's just a little bit of a statement, making a statement, and I do understand that. Is that the statement you want to make in the second game of a tournament when you've got a 3-game preliminary round and then you get into the difficult stuff? You get a couple days off, so you're going to look after their health and look after their lineup with some discipline equally. So now a little more discussion here coming about just what the situation is now as Yamaguchi comes across to speak to Babby. Bridges looking up at the scoreboard. You see the 2 minutes there for McGregor, so there is the 2. The 10 forces him out of the game. Coming across to serve the penalty is Tyrone Henry on McGregor's behalf. You gotta have one player in there. And then the additional 10, well, that's just gonna be leveraged against McGregor. That's why he's left the game. He's got that 10 against him, and that'll be reviewable, I expect, at the end here now, after this game as well. And you'll be fortunate if that doesn't lead to the possibility of being suspended. So not entirely sure. It's just a 2+10. So McGregor's coming back, it looks like, and he's going to serve his own penalty. So it's a misconduct as opposed to a major. A major would have meant him ejected from the game. I was wondering whether McGregor had made that decision just to leave because he was going to be sat there. But he'll have to sit the remaining time.
2 minutes will be served by number 5, Tyrone Henry. Time of the penalty, 9 minutes, 1 second into the third period.
Tyrone Henry will serve the 2-minute penalty, and then he'll come back into the game. But McGregor will sit there for the rest of the game in the penalty box as a result of that 10-minute misconduct. But he doesn't get removed from the game, and that's important, because potentially getting removed would have led to a review, and a review could have led to a suspension. At this stage, it looks like it's the Italians again, just trying to figure out how to advance this play out of their own zone, as Canada have been able to be one step ahead as they mirror the Italians. Oh, Hickey is right around Liberty, coughs it up, and that almost gets banked in as quick as he tries to play it out. That's a better pass up for Larch. Larch plays that long and in, but has it gone for icing? It has. He's played it from behind the line there, and that's a real challenge right now, as the Italians just lost a little bit of their offensive mojo. They haven't had a whole lot of time with it, and it's almost there. You think if Hickey has his blade down rather than his pick at the end of his stick, the butt end that's got a pick on it, and his blade down, does that go off the blade and potentially in the short side? Dozolino, he's removed. He'll be asking for the visiting side to get the stick down first. Breaking through, can't quite. That's James Dunn, who scores the last goal for Canada, unassisted. It's shorthanded as well. And he does that at 36-27. We're counting down here in the remaining portion of this hockey game. Inside of 5 minutes, comfortably, and 20 seconds remains on the power play for Italy, but they spent most of the time on their power play in their own defensive third. This is better as they advance to the neutral zone. A little bit of construction about their game plan here. Better. Lobbed in. Corbin Watson. He's been tested a few times from behind the goal, short, tight angles. And he's so keen to touch the puck. He hasn't had a whole lot of traffic. He's had 4 shots in total. Only 14 for Canada, and they've converted 9 times. Extraordinary execution. James Dunn has scored his second goal as he outweights Stilitano, and that is clever work indeed by the youngster. He had a shorthanded goal and back to 5-on-5. He's as slippery as a Korean noodle as he comes right at Stilitano. He outweights him a little bit of a, well, he was starting to fall and lose his balance there, but that's strength and core strength to keep a line, to be able to find a way to slot that in. Very impressive. He's the unassisted man, is James Dunn, as both of his goals have come unassisted. Basically saying to his teammates, guys, I got this. Don't need the service. What I'll do is I'll just intercept the puck or turn it over from the opposition. So he banging on the door of a Paralympic Games hat trick. Whoa, what else would you want when you're 17? As Sholomicki looking to try to come across this line. Can't advance it. And this will be Henry to go back for it for Canada. Bridges, the reload. And it can't be accurately placed by the Canadians coming through the neutral zone. Delaney, who does have a hat trick already. And this is just different layers to the Canadians as they just try to find a better route to travel up the ice here. They're portaging now. Here comes Bridges. Oh, Bridges has lost the handle. And that's happened a few times, I've noticed, in this one. Have to get a little bit of talcum powder on his butt end there, just to make sure he keeps the grip that he needs. The Italian player, and looks to have just fallen unfavorably. Or whether there was a collision, we'll just see. Bridges comes around, and this is the collision. He just gets wrapped up, but he has Stilitano pretty much frozen in the Italian goal, but he just couldn't freeze his moment and get that puck wrapped around him and slot it in. Well, everything seems to be be okay. The Italian player back and upright, feeling better. Liam Hickey, he's still parked on 2 goals. A number of players. Hickey could get one. A hat trick. And as we have seen, the last 2 goals, James Dunn. Good movement here. Cozzolino just keeping it away from the Italians. And they really just squeezed the air right out of this hockey balloon inside the Gangneung Hockey Centre. Has the Canadians. They really have been lethal. They haven't really continued to force the issue, but they do take a good shot there. Interestingly, the Americans in day 2 had a commanding lead in their matchup, but just decided to play a game of keep away rather than taking the shots on goal. Canada are going to take their shots if they can. And I agree with that, because in the integrity of the sport, it is about trying to raise the standard of all of the teams, because these chances to play against one another is your best opportunity to improve. You're going to learn best. You're going to have the most positive development experience in games against better opposition. You're going to learn what works and what doesn't work real quick. The scoreboard is an indication of all of the small things that Canada are doing better than the Italians in this hockey game. Pressure on the puck. 3 defending players for Italy, but it's Canada who comes up with a puck here. And they just squirt it out. And here, with all of that pressure, 3 against 2 with numerical advantage, it's Canada who find the puck advantage. From this position, are they looking for one more? They're going to go one louder. Delaney, he's got 3. Is he poised for a 4th? It's slowed up for a second, and then he just goes back and puts the jaws of life to it and reclaims it. Bridges, again, with that very deceptive shoulder fake. Canada are just killing the remaining portions of this possession. Dunn would have loved to have got another shot off. I don't think he's going to, or is he? As Bridges, maybe one last flicker. Is it going to be? It's not, as full time has been called, as the horn will go inside the Gangneung Hockey Centre. This is day 2 action between Canada and Italy, and Canada have added to their very impressive totals in the tournament so far. Stilitano, I think, rather resigned to the fate of the game in this one. I think the Italians recognized they weren't really going to compete against the Canadians for a victory, but just trying to manage the scoreline and play as effective as they could do. But it was a long day at the office for Italy as the North Americans, Canada, take the Europeans down. The final score is 10 goals for Canada. Italy, they didn't score.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give both teams a round of applause for their outstanding effort throughout the game.
열정적인 경기를 펼친 양 팀을 향해 뜨거운 박수 보내주십시오.
Ken Babby looks on, and very businesslike, as Canada was, just takes the full measure of the situation. There's no need to over-pump the situation for Canada. It was all business, a very professional victory, and to be expected of the Canadians. That is the way they went about their work today in the Gangneung Hockey Centre. 45 minutes of very impressive para-ice hockey from the world #1. Italians acknowledging their support, the Canadians doing likewise. This is the final tally of stats. 16 shots is all that they took in this game, Canada. They scored 10 of them. 1 from 3 in the power play, 70, winning 7 out of 10 puck possessions. Those additional minutes there, the additional 10 on the 24 minutes belong to Tyler McGregor, and he's a little bit lucky to have just got the misconduct rather than potentially a match penalty. And there you see pretty balanced shots coming. Nothing in the second period for the Italians. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, for a total of 4 in the game. It's been impressive in the opening 2 days of competition for Canada. They have scored 27 goals, and they are putting on an offensive display.
자원봉사 패션 크루 여러분이 하고 있는 모든 일이 가장 중요한 일입니다. 자원봉사 패션 크루 여러분이 있는 곳이 가장 빛나는 곳이며 여러분이 있기에 2018 평창 대회가 있을 수 있습니다. 늘 자부심을 가지고 자원봉사를 하시기 바랍니다. 2018 평창 대회를 이끌어 나가는 주역인 자원봉사 패션 크루 여러분, 여기 계신 모두를 대표하여 여러분께 무한한 감사의 인사를 전합니다. 감사합니다.
The world #1 Canada, the reigning world champions, have come into PyeongChang, and they are playing at a very clinical and outstanding level. Balanced scoring up and down their lineup. Another hat trick today belonging to Ben Delaney this time, and new arrival at the Paralympic level. It's James Dunn, who scores 2 goals for himself and shorthanded opportunities, and both of them unassisted. Canada looked impressive. They took care of business in style. A 10-0 victory over Italy. They are on their way, moving strong through this tournament.